Hey everyone, Kim here with Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome. We are doing another Mystery Mystic Monday, and we are looking at the case of 41-year-old legal secretary Erica Marie Wright. She resided in Roseville, California, and she's a mother of 2 boys, and I believe she was in a relationship. I don't know if she was married or in like a live-in partner situation, but she passed away in a tragic, very horrific way. She was bludgeoned to death by a baseball bat, and there were no signs of forced entry. There's been no named suspects, and it's just peculiar to me that law enforcement has not indicated anything about any kind of updates or status as to where they are at in this investigation. I know that investigations can move slowly at times and we have to be patient, but it is disturbing because they had indicated early on that they couldn't tell if this was a random or a targeted attack, and I wasn't able to verify if that status had changed or not. It concerns me because I only live 10 to 15 minutes away from her, from where this occurred, and my family still lives so close to where this occurred. And it disturbs me that Placer County Sheriff's Department has just been mum on the situation. No word, no peep, nothing. So I'm hoping that with this opening oracle reading and the subsequent tarot and okay, so let's get started. Let's settle in. Spirit, we come to you for your divine guidance, divine insights, your divine prophecy, your divine grace. As we delve into the energy surrounding why this happened to Erica Marie Wright, who may have been responsible, what's going on here with the investigation, if you're so inclined to share. Was this targeted or was this random? What can you tell us about the attack on her? What can you tell us? We are so grateful for your divine insights. Thank you for protecting myself and those who watch this video. Okay. Do I need to stop shuffling, Spirit, or is this it? Get a sense that this may be it. But I'm just going to double check. One more overhand shuffle. And then we're going to zoom in so you all can see it. Door. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you all about the door card because in this particular session, what I had decided to do as it relates to Erica's case is to sit with her. I don't always sit with the victim, like sit, meditate, tap into her energies on the night or the day that they, that she or he may have crossed over or may have disappeared. I don't always, but sometimes I'm called to. And so in this case, I was called to. And one of the things that stuck out to me was that I feel like she answered the door. I saw that in my mind's eye. She answered the door. There was a little bit of fussing about something she didn't want to do, some kind of boundary she was setting. And it was almost like a blow to her, like a surprise blow to her. I didn't pick up on a lot of arguing or anything going on leading up to, but she did open the door to this person. I don't feel like they had a key. I feel like she opened the door. I could be wrong, but that's what came up. So this is interesting to me that out of this large deck, the door card came up. So I'm going to zoom in a little tighter so you guys can really see what I'm looking at here. And we're going to talk about it. So with Erica, we got the first card, which is the Shield. This is about a defensive barrier. Protection or preservation. Isolation. I'm wondering what her life was like in the weeks preceding this attack. I wonder if at times she felt like she had to protect her energy, or she had to protect herself, or live in isolation, or be alone, be away. That is to shield herself or shield her teen boys. There was some kind of a need for preservation, protection. And there, as a result, there was also this isolation. Okay. That's what I'm picking up on. Now we have the Frog card. This is about a disappointing situation or disappointment in a person. A situation that had transformed what once had become like a situation that was like feeling like you're protected. Like maybe your sanctuary in your home, you feel like it protects you from harm, or a relationship, you feel like it protects you from harm. And then over time it transforms and it becomes quite disappointing. That's what I'm sensing here with the Frog card. Something that you need, something that is unpleasant that you need to accept, is what one of the key meanings to the Frog card is. And what is that? Is it that is a relationship that had become sour, a friendship, an intimate partnership, or is it the neighborhood that became sour? Whatever it was, it did lead to her demise. And when I see the Frog card, it also reminds me of the toad, right? You know, when they say you kiss a toad and he, it's the fairy tale, you kiss a toad and he transforms into a prince. Sometimes the toad or the frog is just that, a toad or a frog. He was never a prince. He will never be a prince. He is who he is. And that's the unpleasant thing that you need to accept. Okay. Now again, we're just now very much aerial view, looking down at this situation energetically. I'm asking Spirit to give us clues about whether this was targeted, whether this was personal, whether this was random, like a stranger. So far, my intuition is picking up on she may have known her attacker, but, we'll see what the rest of the cards say in this oracle reading. The Skull card does represent death. a change, a changing or an ending of a cycle. It can also represent thoughts or feelings of morality or your mortality. There could have been thoughts of, am I going to be hurt? Am I going to die? Am I safe in this situation, in this home, in this environment, with the shield, frog, and skull card in the same row? Am I safe? It was starting to be something playing in her mind. There was a change in a situation, a change in her feeling safe. Okay. The cat card is associated with a resurrection, something returning. It also can represent an independent person, so maybe she was exerting her independence now. It also can signify intuition and misfortune. The wall card is speaking about obstacles. One of the key words to the wall card is separation, protection, maintaining boundaries. Who is she maintaining boundaries with? The frog. Why? Because she either no longer felt safe and protected, and she needed to do something about that. Her intuition was speaking that she needed to do something. And so there was just like small exchange of words when I sat down and kind of channeled into her energies, and just kind of was in the room with her. I wasn't as her. That's not my gift. I can be able to see pictures as if I'm in the room, but not as of the person. Sometimes there is one or two cases that I was able to actually immerse myself and be feeling what the person is feeling. But not always, and that's okay. Sometimes it's topical what I'm feeling. Sometimes I'm like as if I'm in the room with them. Sometimes it's as if I'm embodying them. It's just depending on how Spirit wants to reveal the information, and then that is how the gifts that I have are employed, reading to reading. Okay, door. This is about a choice to break down the wall, to allow somebody in, to allow them to come in once more. This is about an actual door playing a role in this situation, opening the door to this person coming in and this person walking out. This person easily walked out of their, out of the home. Hold on. The power flickered. Turn that back on. They easily walked out of the home just as easily as they came in the home. It was almost like they could have had a key at one point, but they didn't anymore. Something maybe with the locks or something, and she allowed this person in. Okay, now let's zoom out, and we're gonna now talk a bit about what else, what else we want to talk about here, Spirit. We're gonna talk about the shadow self feelings involved in this situation. What are the shadow aspects of the parties involved? Again, this can give us some clues on whether or not she knew this person or didn't know this person, whether or not it was targeted or random. Okay. I'll zoom in again in just a moment, but I wanted to show you all these cards. Let me zoom in and let me turn this around this light so there's not much of a glare. We got condescending, insecurities, abandonment issues, complacency, and heartbroken. Someone in this dynamic was condescending, talking down to someone, playing into someone's insecurities and abandonment issues. Both of the parties involved could have abandonment issues, is what I'm picking up on here. And so they have a role to play in that. So somebody was being condescending, playing into someone's insecurities, abandonment issues. Someone either didn't want to be abandoned, and this is why this situation kept going on until finally someone, and I'm assuming it is Erica, set boundaries. For a long time, there was complacency involved in this dynamic. And as a result, she was just like, no more. No more. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to prepare to get my life back together. I want to move from this situation or move from this place, or I want you to move. I'm no longer afraid to be abandoned, but just because she was overcoming her insecurities and abandonment issues, someone's insecurities and abandonment issues were still very much at play in this dynamic. She no longer wanted to be complacent. She wanted to move forward, even if it caused heartbreak. Someone was heartbroken. Someone was envious of a possibility of perhaps her moving on. Is this an intimate partner? Perhaps. Is this a friend? Perhaps. But what this is starting to tell me is that she may have been quite familiar with this person who may have had a hand, this frog who had a hand in her demise. Spirit, what else can you share with us about what happened to Erica Marie Wright, or who may have done this, or why? 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 Why or who? I'll show you all in a moment what came up. Tell you. I'll zoom out in a moment. Okay, so let me show you some cards here. And zoom back. Can always adjust it. Okay, social media will provide valuable clues. Now, this could be her social media. This could be a person close to her social media. Okay, now here's the thing. I went to go look for some pictures to have for this video, and I don't know if maybe loved ones had, completely made her Facebook private, and that's a possibility. There wasn't a lot of information available on her social media. There was just her cover photo that was available. Okay, so what I'm sensing here is that there could be important clues on her private Facebook page, something like that. Also, someone who's close to her, it could be information there. This is telling me, though, that this is not something that is likely a random attack. This is something personal and targeted. Now, another thing that was interesting to me is this illegal activities played a role. Could the person that she would have been involved with allegedly been involved in some sort of illegal activities? Was she not going for it anymore? Was she no longer going to be complacent and it was time to set up a wall and move forward because all she could see in the future was misfortune if she continued to go down this path with this person. So she set up a boundary, perhaps. Illegal activities played a role. This person could just be someone who does petty crimes and she just got tired of it, or there could have been something larger that she was aware of, or that this person expected her to be a part of, and she just wasn't willing to do that. It says cell phone records may provide an important clues. So again, if it's something with social media or cell phone records, this would tell me that this is likely someone who knows something, that is involved, that is a part of her life, that would have her phone number. She would have their phone number. They would have an exchange of information, text messages, phone calls, doing social media activities on your cell phone. So, and cell phone records will speak to tracking. Where was this person at? Did they say that they were here, but their cell phone records show, their GPS shows that they were there? You see what I'm saying? So there's different records that can come about from the cell phone. This crime may be solved by DNA testing or other scientific methods. So the murder weapon was, from what I heard, this is from what I heard, that it was a baseball bat. Is the baseball bat still in the home? Did the perpetrator take it away? I don't know. They didn't give much information. Law enforcement didn't share much information at all. So no clue about that. Now this is one that kind of stumped me, but I'm going to show it to you all anyway, because I think it's important to talk about. It says, the killer just passing through the area, and they got train tracks. Now, the reason why I want to tell you about that is that there was a new transit station that had opened up. It looked like within walking distance when I looked at the Google aerial maps. And I'll see if there's a way for me to include that in this video. I'm not sure if I'll add it or not. But some neighbors were saying that they were concerned that people who were near this little transfer station may, homeless people or people who are up to no good could maybe be walking through the streets. However, I feel like this could be a potential defense or a potential excuse or a potential something that maybe one of the main suspects, once they are apprehended, will say, like, no, it wasn't me, it was this person. Now, this car could truly indicate that it's somebody passing through town. It also could indicate that this person who did this to her, even though they knew her, they were just passing through town. Maybe, it's someone who wasn't going to stay around for very long, or maybe they left town soon after. It could mean that. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that to you all about that piece of information that I found when I was searching for photos of her. Finally, it says argument or fight is a strong factor. Now, of course, a dispute can happen, even in a home invasion. But typically, this card comes up when there's some sort of intimate connection. A family member, a romantic partner, a friend, a colleague, a boss. This is typically associated to a connection to the victim, okay? So an argument was a key factor. And that's why I was saying when I was tapping into her energies, going into a meditative state surrounding this, what happened, what I felt was that she kind of flippantly said something like this was an ongoing conversation that they had argued about before over and over again. And this time this person just kind of snapped, this frog. All right, I'm going to pull a few extra cards here because I want a complete opening oracle reading for this situation. We'll see what else. Spirit, is there anything else to shed on Erica Marie Wright's case? anything else to share about her case that could help illuminate who this person is, where they may be, why they did this? Why did they bludgeon her to death? Like, what was behind that? I mean, that's really a cruel way, a cruel, painful way to hurt somebody. Like, and who could have done this? I'll reshuffle that. Who could have done this? What about the case status? Is there anything you can share with us about what's to come with the case status? Let's see what we've got. So far we got blinded to pain, calling the storm, 200 to 500 kilometers. This could be that the person now lives 200 to 500 kilometers, traveled 200 to 500 kilometers after the fact, after what they did to her. So again, that's why cell phone records, GPS coordinates, and things would be very important to this case. We've got travel. So again, I mean, this could allude to her home being a safe sanctuary, and now no longer she's feeling protected. Now she's feeling, vulnerable. So there's a small chance, but I really do feel like there's something more going on here with this case, and it has to do with someone she knows. So let me show you. We got whistleblower coming forward, truth revealed. So that's encouraging. At some point in the future, the truth will be revealed. Until then, though, it has started to hit a point that it feels like it's going to be unsolved. Like there's certain aspects of this case that are still a question mark to law enforcement. The incident occurred on April 20th, 2022. I'm recording this as of Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. And so it's just peculiar to me that there's been no new follow-up news or press conferences surrounding this case. It's really actually disturbing and disheartening. We've got thugs, dealers, criminals. Now this speaks to, remember this, this speaks to this, thugs, dealers, criminals. Someone in her midst, someone around her was involved in illegal activities. They could have been a dealer, they could have been a petty criminal or a serious criminal or a thug all their life. But she just was no longer feeling it. Her lifestyle was quite different. She was a legal secretary. So whoever this was, a friend, an intimate partner, she just wasn't feeling that no more. Whatever it was, it just was weighing on her. She had become blinded to pain for so long, so numb to it. The pain was the arguments, or the pain was the fact that she was not able to fully be herself and fully live the life that she wanted to live. So that's what I'm picking up on here. And calling the storm, this was something brewing. Her intuition was picking up on it. We saw that with the cat card. It was like this card represents intuition, misfortune. Okay. Calling the storm. She could intuitively feel the storm coming. Justice. That fell in my lap. So additional cards we got was known to police in the system, criminal records. So whoever this is has a criminal record, is in the system. Maybe not necessarily for such a violent crime like this, but they probably have a record. And if that's not the case, I sense it is, but if that's not the case, this card also comes up when there is a person of interest, but the police haven't named them, but it is known to the police who this person is. Like they have a clue, they just may not have enough evidence to answer the why, to answer the where is, this or that. You know what I'm saying? So there's still a lot of unanswered questions that they can't just go ahead and name them as a suspect. They can't just point the finger at them without being able to carry the case through to prosecution. Okay. We got secrets, cover up, withholding information. So someone that they could have interviewed in the past, maybe a witness or maybe the person themselves who caused this, has withholding information or secrets. There's a cover up element to this case, which is disturbing and upsetting. But nevertheless, that's what's going on. We got betrayal. So what does that imply? That implies that she knew who this person was. It was a betrayal to her. What was also interesting in the news report that I watched is that they said someone from the home, inside the home, called the police to report that this happened to her, that she was deceased. And that they said that that person was not a suspect. That they didn't, and they said that early on, like day one after this horrendous act occurred against Erica. And so I was surmising that there's probably, physical evidence that leads them to rule out this person. And I'm also thinking it's probably one of her children, one of her teenage kids. So who else could have betrayed her if not one of her children, if not a neighbor, and someone that walked through the door, no forced entry? Who could that be? Finally, we have justice. It already feels like it's taking forever for justice to move forward. I mean, there's not even any named suspects. But what I always say about Lady Justice is she comes when she comes. She comes right on time. We never know when she's going to show up or how she's going to show up, but she will, especially when you get such a card as justice. She will. Does that sometimes show up as someone getting arrested? Yes. Does it show up as someone maybe taking their life? Yeah. It may not be the kind of answer, the kind of end we want. Could it be that nothing happens? Perhaps it could be nothing happens, but something is happening karmically that we as the public aren't aware of, that the family's not aware of immediately. But there is something happening here with justice. And so that is a beautiful thing to see in this reading, considering what she went through and what her family is going through now. Her boys who don't have their mother anymore. There was another card that had jumped. It was taking a chance. So remember earlier when I said that it was like she was like, okay, I need this space. I need to set up this boundary. I need to move forward in my life. That came up here, and it's also showing up in this card. She was like, I'm going to take a chance and push someone out of my life. And this is the pushing outside of my life. Freedom, need space, alone. I want to be alone. I need space. And that is when a woman is most vulnerable. Or I can't even always say a woman. I've heard of men who have been stalked, who have been mercilessly, just bothered by a woman or another partner or what have you, male or female. But typically with women, when they are leaving a situation, they are most vulnerable in those weeks and months following the leaving, following the taking a chance and saying and declaring, I need freedom, I need space. Now, of course, all of this is all alleged. You know that. But that's what's coming up energetically in the cards. I'm curious to hear what you all think about what's come up in the cards. Have you heard of this case? Do you know about it? It really upsets me because the main cross street that she lived off of, I used to travel from time to time, like maybe every other week, because I lived over there. So it was like, it's unsettling that happened and that police hasn't named anyone, hasn't said anything about it. It just really is scary. So yeah, I'm going to be doing I'm not sure exactly when, but I am going to do a detailed tarot and oracle reading to pull questions from this reading, inspired from this reading I did right now. I'm going to be doing a follow-up, a part 2. If you think of any questions that I can ask during part 2's detailed tarot and oracle reading, please share it in the comments section. Also, please share with me your thoughts, your feelings, your intuitive hits surrounding Erica's case. Do me a favor on the way out. You know, I've got to ask, and I'm always so grateful that you hit the like button. It really does help me. It helps the channel, and I appreciate you so much for doing so. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Please subscribe. I am constantly making content. I am inspired by what you all ask for and suggest. So join my little family, and don't be afraid to chime in and give your comments, give your suggestions, give your intuitive input. I welcome it. I do. All right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up here. Sending you all so much love. Please stay tuned for part 2, and please take very good care of yourselves. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.